What's good, people? This is Cypher, and you are watching Farside TV. And because this was the second place winner in like 2 polls, Skrilla Bag BG, you get your wish. This is on the list. This is the video. We're gonna do 2008, the best year in hip hop. If you don't know me, I'm Cypher. I listen to music so you don't have to, and apparently I review them as well. I'm an artist myself, and this is my YouTube channel for that. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go on the video, and then I pick the video, and then I do the video, and y'all see the video, y'all like it, and then y'all choose the next one. That's how the cycle goes, right? This is where we at. 2008, the best year in hip hop. So I'm gonna tell you why. Alright? So I'm gonna tell you, as a young 14-year-old, I was at the end of my middle school years and the beginning of my high school year. So I was just coming up to 8th grade, going up to a freshman, and in the summertime, between that time, before that, and after, we got some really good hip hop. So let me tell you why. We had Lil Wayne, right? He came out with the Carter 3. Lil Wayne was at the time, and still is today, my favorite rapper. And when he came out with the Carter 3, it was the best thing since sliced bread. We had Lollipop, A Milli, How to Love. I mean, not How to Love. Lollipop, A Milli, a bunch of features on the album, on with Bobby Valentino. It was so much stuff on there. The Carter 3 was packed. It was the summer anthem, A Milli, Lollipop, all that. I kind of draw a blank for with songs, you know, what it was called with him and Bobby Valentino or whatever. But it was just a great time to be alive, man. We got Lil Wayne on fire as the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? He just came off in 2007 with the mixtape thing on the Everybody's Remix. He was the best thing going, so everything was happening in his favor. T.I. dropped Paper Trail. Before he went to jail, he dropped Paper Trail, right? And this was the best thing happening because he just had an amazing year the year before in 2007 with T.I. versus T.I.P. Big Things Popping, Hurt, etc., etc. So 2008's Paper Trail had Whatever You Like. I mean, it had so many great songs. It had Justin Timberlake on there with Dead and Gone. Rihanna with Live Your Life. To me, his best album to date, in my opinion, because it was his biggest and it just had so much going for it. So it was great. Young Jeezy with The Recession, which was pitch perfect because Obama was just now starting to be in office as our first black president. So his album correlated with the recession and the fact that we were about to have a new president and that he was a brother. So everything was so smooth. So with those 3 artists, which were my top 3 artists at the time, all interwoven, what we're going to do, we're going to get into Young Jeezy's Put On featuring Kanye, which delivered one of Kanye's best feature verses ever, and which led to Kanye's album 808s and Heartbreaks, which gave us a new side of Kanye West, a more melodic side, a deeper, darker side. He had Go Hard with T-Pain and DJ Khaled, which showed Kanye's way to like take a track and just make it his own, along with T-Pain's assistance, but mostly Kanye. And speaking of T-Pain, he dropped his album too, 3 Rings, which had Ludacris, Wayne, and everything. And you know what? And what gets me the most is, if I listen to Can't Believe It right now, it'll probably bring back too many memories. I'll probably be somewhere in the corner reminiscing on how that was one of the best summers ever and how nothing mattered as a child. You're young, nothing really matters. You're starting to become a young adult, but nothing is as important to you then as it is now. Can't Believe It featuring Lil Wayne, a song that I didn't really care for at first, but they played so many times it grew on me. Chopped and Screwed featuring Ludacris, it grew on me. And speaking of Ludacris dropped the album that year, right? Theater of the Mind, which was to me one of the most slept on albums ever. Ludacris' Theater of the Mind is an excellent album where it shows more of a lyrical side to Ludacris as opposed to the big singles. It had Lil Wayne on there, it had T.I., it had a bunch of big artists on there. And my point in naming all these people is that everybody dropped in 2008. Wayne, T.I., Jeezy, Kanye. I mean, everybody. Even Plies, who just came on the scene, dropped and was hottest thing at the time. Plies. And even if you go into the R&B side, I mean, you had T-Pain, you had Beyonce, you had everybody dropping. This was the year. I think even Neo dropped. Everybody was dropping to where it's like, if things didn't happen that way, I don't know how 2009 would have looked, because imagine everybody delayed their album to the next year. Guess who came up next year and showed out and became the biggest thing since Hot Sliced Bread? Drake. Drake came out in 2009 and took over hip hop. I mean, it didn't matter who was dropping at that time. Drake was dropping, so 2009 belonged to Drake in a way. So he definitely did that for sure. And if he had dropped during the time last year, maybe he would have got lost in the shuffle because everybody else was like up here at that time. But if they all dropped the next year during 2009, I think they would have been left in the wind because of that. So I think it was meant for all of them to drop that same year in 2008. We had the 2008 Cypher, which had Corey Guns killing it, Fabulous, Joel Santana. I mean, everybody was killing this thing. And we got introduced to a bunch of newer artists, some older artists. It was just, what a time to be alive in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So that's what, to me, what made hip hop the best in 2008 is because all the big stars, all the hip hop heavyweight giants dropped. And it really didn't matter who you liked more because they were all interwoven in with each other. Everybody was a fan of each other. Everybody was working with each other. Everything was smooth. So that's why, to me, it was such a great year. Like I said, again, Obama coming into play. Everything was just so pitch perfect to where it was the best thing ever. You really couldn't tell nobody nothing. Your whole MP3 and playlist was filled with these artists because their albums were so cold. Carter 3, Paper Trail, The Recession, 808s and Heartbreaks. And even the ones that weren't, like I said, rap. Akon dropped Well, I'm So Paid, one of the best songs I've ever heard from Akon. I mean, it had Wayne on it, it had Jeezy. Like, it was a time. DJ Khaled was around. Like, it was a time when literally everything was happening. Because the year prior was 2007. That was the year everybody was on everybody's remix. It had the Walk It Out remix, Two Step remix, Soulja Boy came out. And don't forget, Soulja Boy dropped in 2008 at probably one of his peak years. You know what I'm saying? So it was a time, man. Like, everybody was busy. 2008 was a busy year in hip hop, bro. So it was definitely well worth watching and experiencing and being there for. So it's really not much else I can say about it. I just wanted to make that video because I wanted y'all to know how many people dropped in and put y'all on game on how many artists actually had albums then, because it's a really long list. Like, everybody dropped, and I'm just naming some. There's plenty more albums that dropped in the hip hop world, and they were all great. So please peep that. And thank you guys for watching. I kept it short this time. You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of half it because it wasn't the #1 voted video. So I had to cut the time in like half. But nonetheless, I still wanted to do it because it was still, like I said, the second voted video. And people wanted to watch it, just weren't enough votes. And I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people weren't aware. So what a time. What a time to be alive. In the hip hop world. So I'm gonna keep it at that. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Cypher. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for the next video. If you haven't seen this video, you should watch it. Trust me, it's where it's at for a reason. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.